Hello everyone and welcome back. Finally, it is I indeed, Mephisto, returning to you live. Well, not live, this is going to be on YouTube, but still returning to you live from years and years in the past. And today, return to the YouTube arena platform. I decided to play an old favorite from my childhood, except this is the Remastered edition, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, I don't know if any of you ever played this one. I absolutely adored this game growing up. This pretty much was a lot of my... pretty much the moment I had a GameCube, so I'd say like about 12 to 13, and I continued to play this for many years. Now, we're going to go and start a new game, but there's going to be a cutscene too. Shh. I'm disappearing now. At least for a little while. Enjoy, everybody. I love the music for this game.
Dreaming of the stars on high that speak to me in secret sighs, drifting on a breeze only I can feel and hear.
I hope you all enjoyed that. Come, let us record your adventures in this journal. It shall be known as the Crystal Chronicles. But first we must know the name of your hometown. So, of course, you can name the hometown pretty much anything you want. I tend to stick with Tipa, as it is the base name for it. Now, I don't know if you all have ever played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I hope you have. If you haven't, this is going to be a wonderful little learning experience and a nice little way to kind of dip your toes into it just a little bit here. The morning of my departure was here at last. I tried to brace myself for the journey ahead. There was a field along the main road where I decided to camp until sunrise. Tomorrow I set out in search of myrrh. Alright, so to go and start us off, of course, yep. I'm gonna say, so basically you have to set out, and the entire point is that there's this poison in the air nowadays, like in this world, and every one of the, and like you can't survive outside of the crystals, and each town has its own crystal, and each town also has its own caravan that it sends out in search of myrrh, which you get from trees at the end of the dungeons. You'll see that here in just a little bit. I'm planning on playing through this. Might be a little bit of a longer episode, I'm hoping not, but anyway. So yes, you can make up to 8 characters. There's the Clavats, which tend to be the most basic race. They're the most human-like one, as you can kind of see. Down to earth, or well, they are Clavats. They seek unity and friendship above all else. They are down to earth, peaceful, and see all others as friends no matter their background. The Lilties, a proud warrior tribe steeped in tradition. They once ruled the continent, though hot-headed, their frank nature makes them admirable merchants. Ukes, the soft-spoken tribe of wisdom and research. Ukes once used magic to resist the might of the Lilties. Their otherworldly physical forms are said to be simply souls that augment their magical abilities. And finally, the Selkie, a tribe of individualists. The Selkie clothe themselves in furs and stolen goods. Their almost primal agility has led many Selkies to take up a life of thievery and brigandry. I read those backwards, but I don't care. So yeah, basically, you have 4 different races to choose from. You can be a Selkie. Really, that's interesting. Anyway, you can be a Selkie, you can be a Uke, you can be a Liltie, or you can be a Clavat. Now, I tend to go with Clavat simply because it is one of my favorites. I don't really know why. You can choose different hairstyles: the cowlick, the natural, the headband, the cap, and the bobbed. I don't much care for the bobbed, but for whatever reason, it's the only one that's really different. Apparently, with the DLC, you can there's DLC where you can buy different outfits and things. I'm not going to do that, no offense. Not really my thing. I'm going to go with my old standby, the headband. Each tribe also, as you can see from the original, has their own weapon. Clavats get swords and shields, weapon and special armor, excuse me. Clavats get swords and shields, the Lilties have spears and gauntlets, Ukes have helmets and hammers. Okay, that was interesting. And Selkies get rackets and I want to say belts. I don't know. I never really played the Selkies. I wasn't a big fan of them. I am going to stick with my Clavat boys. I'm going to go with the headband. I'll go with voice 3. I usually make them blacksmiths. Sure, we'll go with my normal standby. And of course, you all know my name. But in case you do not, I shall welcome you back. Aww. Well, I hit the wrong thing. Yeah, crap. Mephi? Ah, crap, I forget how to... No! Grr. Hi, dear. Grr. I was saying, yes, I'm actually recording this. We'll go with Mephisto. Mephisto. This is Mephisto. I'll hit you with it. But yes, we will go with this. If I had anybody else who was playing this with me, of course, they would be making a character as well. Now, let's meet my family before we set off. They did a lot of new stuff to this game. I really like some of the changes that they made. Some of them I'm not too big a fan of, but what are you going to do? Graphics were barely updated too. course, this is my mom, my dad,
Hey!
my brother Ramsey, and then my other brother Samuel. And it's really weird. Mephisto, the blacksmith's son, is sent off by his father Aryan, his mother Christy, his brother Ramsey, and his brother Samuel. Now here's the interesting thing. Even back when I played this, when I was like 13 years old, that was the... I'm guessing it's gotta be like the way I set the character up, because I get the same name for the family. Oh yes, and here we go. So now we get to the next part. You will have events randomly that will occur to you when you're traveling, which honestly was a nice touch. Although now I'm going to shut up for a second because, again, these are voiced cutscenes.
Hail, fellow caravaner! You are the caravan from that village, are you not? I heard they were sending out a new caravan. You seem quite capable.
Well, yes, thank you. I am quite capable.
My name is Sol Rot. I am captain of the caravan from the great fortress at Alphataria. Our caravan boasts a history that stretches back thousands of years. But let us discuss that.
I'm sorry if I go through some of their dialogue a bit quicker, but I can't be waiting on them to finish talking.
Stiltskin, do you have a moment? This is the village caravan. Come on, say hello. Allow me to introduce Stiltskin. He may not look it, but he is a seasoned adventurer. Even we turn to him for counsel from time to time.
No, I'm just a Moogle that likes to get around. I learned all sorts of things in my travels before I knew it. I'm on my way somewhere right now, but I can teach you a thing or two if you like.
No.
I highly recommend you accept his offer.
Yes, you wouldn't want to miss out.
Well, I'm sure he will do just fine.
By the way, are you setting out all by yourself, Capo? You've got a lot on your shoulders, Capo. Let me carry the crystal chalice for you, Capo.
Yes, a capital. Let Mog help you. Be careful out there. You don't want to get in over your head.
So yes, as you can see, every time that I go to one of these things, I always get a new journal entry. And while those seem very innocuous, basically just, you know, very quaint, really nice little things they added in there, they do actually come into play later on. Now, the reason that Mog, that little Moogle, yes, so you can do a multiplayer, you can do a single player. If you're doing single player, Mog will help you carry the chalice. I've never actually tried multiplayer before. I don't want to try it right now. Maybe when I go to the next dungeon on the next episode, I will go ahead and show off the multiplayer and see if it works fairly well. Now, I also will tell you that technically there were some crazy weapons that I got with the game. And after that, this is the River Bell Pass. It'll give you a bonus there. Make Mog pick up the chalice for me. Of course, here's my little dude. I can swing my sword 3 times, do a focus attack, and even defend. Now, my defense will not work against magic. The Selkies and the Ukes have a defense that will work against magic spells. The Ukes basically just like vanish into the void, while the Selkies do a backflip. I mean, but yeah, otherwise it's your standard kind of like Zelda-ish. Standard Zelda-ish thing, kill enemy, get key. But my favorite part about this was that you didn't need to wait for the door for one thing. Well, okay. Nope, Mog, please pick that back up. Thank you. Nope. I want to put Cure down. About to say, and like I said, yes, I know that there are special weapons that come with it that you can get with the game. I have them. I'm not going to use them. Uh-oh. And yes, that will make the dungeons just a little bit more difficult. But that's... Another cool little thing about Mog is that if you have him not carrying the chalice, he can actually help you sing of attacks. Now, I haven't really practiced with him that much because I actually have a specific build that I always make whenever I play a Clavat, so, you know, I tend to end up not needing Mog's help, and I know that probably sounds quite terrible. Ah, wait, so that's the cool thing. Excellent. Whoop, okay. I'm still getting used to the new control scheme here. But one of the cool things you can do is that with this you get different designs. That's how you have to get the weapons. So you can't just find the weapons. You have to find the design, basically the blueprint for it for a blacksmith, and then after that you have to find the parts. Now, again, this is one of my favorite games. This is one of my favorite Final Fantasies, especially. And I know a lot of people didn't like this one as well. Because the fact that it diverted a lot from the normal Final Fantasy genre, and that you didn't have the normal ATB gauge. And this was like way back, you know, in the GameCube days. They didn't have that ATB gauge. In fact, this is when they were still doing Final Fantasy, I want to say it was 10 at the time. It could have been 9, but I'm pretty sure, fairly certain it was 10. Alright, now let's go over here. I think it's, here it is. Whoa, they definitely changed that around. Okay, cool. Let's go inside. Here's another cool little thing that they had originally had were Mog houses. So you could find where Moogles lived, and you could go into their houses, and you could visit them. Like this guy, who's sitting on his chair. Oh, whoops.
Hello, Kabo.
Yep, I want a Mog stamp. Alright, I don't have the card. And in each one of the dungeons, you can actually find a Moogle in his home like this. Stamp card to get Mog stamps. Stamp card is 23 squares, and they're divided into sets of 1 to 3 squares of matching colors. There are 9 different kinds of Mog stamps. Each Moogle will stamp one onto your card. Basically, whenever you get 3... okay, that's interesting. Marking others lets you become someone else, Kubo. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know about that. Totally transform... Oh, so you can actually change the... Oh, that's interesting.
Hello.
I don't think his is... Okay, no, his is not... Okay. And some of them on that card are actually unique, so you don't need to wait and grab the rest. Here's a cool thing. You can paint Mog. And look at my little Moogle buddy. You got a little pom-pom, got his little bat wings. These didn't have arms, which kind of freaked me out. Now, of course, like I said, you can do all kinds of different stuff. You can wash him. You can wash him. You can paint him different colors. The paint basically makes it so that whenever you use your spells, then he'll sync it up with like red for a fire spell, blue for an ice, green for lightning, or you can cut his hair so that way he's not as hot. Now we're not going to do that here because we don't really need to. No offense, Moogle, I want to leave your house now. Thank you. But suffice it to say, if you're playing Crystal Chronicles, you'll want those memories. They are a good thing. They're a big part of the game. Alright, we're going to keep moving. Now, yes, this little circle, I can't move outside. Well, I mean, I can move outside of it. I don't want to move outside of it. Because moving outside of the circle will cause me continuous damage. And you can actually see, if you look really closely at Mog, you can see the sweat kind of coming off of him because I'm moving faster than he is, and he doesn't like that too much. Now the cool thing is, and you can do this with a lot of different things in this game, but this is a water barrel, or water jar. Throw it down, you can cast Blizzard on it, it'll freeze things, thunder on it will electrocute them. Throw that down, cast fire on it, and catch it on fire. I don't tend to use the environmental things in this one. They're not as useful, personally, as most games, but if you're having a lot of trouble with the enemies, you can easily take advantage of them. I messed up my combo. I messed up my wombo combo. No. How dare you. Goblin, take that. Ooh, it gave me bronze. And yes, all the enemies drop wonderful little items for whatever it is that you are trying to make. As I go further on, I will run into bigger and tougher enemies, and the more that I come back here, because I have to come back pretty much every year in order to get everything, the more enemies there will be. The stronger the enemies will be, the stronger the bosses will be. It gets really hard. It actually gets pretty hard. I mean, like, I know it seems easy from what I'm doing here. From what you all are seeing, it probably looks really easy, but this game can get really hard before you even realize what's going on. Especially in some of the later levels, or later on when it starts getting hard. Uh-oh. Ow! Stop throwing things at me! Stop trying to hit me with your sword. I said, whoa. Told you, it can get hard when you're not even expecting it to. The enemies can overwhelm you before you even know what's going on. And next thing you know, you're being revived with the Phoenix down and going, wait a minute, what just happened? Trust me, it's happened way too many times to me. The important thing is, with this game, you need to focus on taking down one enemy at a time. Or, you need to have it so that you hit multiple weaker enemies along with the stronger ones. See? Now the little blue orbs here, if you can't tell, they're magicite. They give me a whole bunch of stuff. And then after that, the other weird things that I've been picking up are magicite. Or not magicite. Are artifacts, and they are how you power up your character at the end of each dungeon. You don't actually level up, or I guess it's unfair to say that you kind of do level up, but not in the traditional sense. You basically just make your character stronger as you go. And some of the artifacts will give you more hearts, which you can see at the top. They kind of did the Zelda thing here. While some of them will give you more pockets, basically more slots to be able to put things in. Let me go back over to here. See, I now have another slot. I can slap Blizzard in there. And I'm going to want Blizzard for the boss coming up. Yeah, I'm about to say, this video was bound to be a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but that's fine. That's fine. Seriously, the loading screens are still crazy. Alright. First boss time. You saw that little tree over at the far left, though? You'll see it again here in a second, but it's the Mer tree. Oh, how beautiful. How wonderful. How... Uh-oh. Giant crab! Seriously, look at all those weapons he's got on his, like, giant claw that he protects himself with. It's just crazy. So the bosses all have their own fairly predictable patterns. They more or less have 3 phases most of the time, where they'll alternate between different attacks. Their health bar will be at the top of the screen, with the exception of the final boss. Kind of the final boss. The crab isn't too difficult. The only thing to really look out for is when he starts spitting bubbles a lot more. Like, he has 3 different attacks. He has the one... Yeah, there you go. Actually, he's got a bunch of different attacks, but in his first phase, when he has the small claw, he'll usually either spit bubbles at you or swipe at you with the claw. When he's got the bigger claw, he'll do the ground pound and the spit and the jump. He doesn't do the jump as much with these first 2 phases. He'll do it now and then. You all saw him trying to do it right before I hit him. The claw, the bubbles will inflict the slow. See, look at that. I just got hit by it. Will inflict the slow status effect. And it's so hard to get out of his slow status effect from there. And he'll cast lightning spells, which is why I was saying that Blizzard will be very helpful. So, and yes, later on, he will cast Thundaga, which is a giant spell. Like the Thundaga and everything spells in this game honestly made me first realize how cool the tier 3 spells were in Final Fantasy. But we just killed the crab ass. And now we are going to get our first drop of myrrh. I'm not going to play this all the time, but you all get to watch the cutscene for the first time. Oh, God, I feel so good to be getting back into YouTube. It feels so good to be playing this game again, too. Like, really playing this game. And this is kind of what I needed to be able to actually play this game. I always wonder what started this whole thing. Like, did this just exist naturally on its own? I've played what I'm pretty sure is the prequel to all of these, called Ring of Fates, and it doesn't really explain anything about what happened with the myrrh, or the myrrh trees, or the crystal, or the miasma, which is what this giant evil poison fog cloud is called. Okay, I'm skipping that now. We got the myrrh. No, I don't want to check it when I get back to the main. And here's the male Moogle! Yes, they all say Kupo at the end of their sentences with the exception of Stiltskin. He's like the rare exception. It's a letter from Roland. He's the village chief, which I didn't get to talk to. Here you can see all the letters as well as how your family feels about you. As you can tell, they're all meh about me right now. How is everything? You may be facing hardships that drag your spirits down, but always remember that the caravan gives hope to us all. May you return safely, Mephisto. From Roland. Thank you. I ain't sending anything. Later on, I will be sending my family. Like, when they start asking how I'm doing, I'll start sending them things, but that's about it. And you just hand the letter back to him.
Got your reply, Kupo.
And you're all done. And he'll run away.
So long, Kupo.
Taking it back to Roland, the village chief. And then here's where we look at the artifacts that I got. Ooh, that is not good, but they didn't really drop much money, which is kind of sad. So this is where you choose what you want to get, and they'll all give different things. But in this case, you really want to start off, whenever you can, you want to get either the pockets, the Moogle, the Gabi, the Chocobo, and one other pocket, or you want the heart pendants. About to say, but that is all the time that I have got for this video. If you all have enjoyed it, then please, as always, like the video, hit subscribe if you greatly enjoyed it and want to see more. And also, if you are subscribed, or if you just now are subscribing, make sure to ring the little bell there so that way you can make sure that you are notified whenever new videos come out. As I know the algorithm likes to change constantly, and we can rarely ever keep up with it. But, again, I have been Mephisto, and I hope you all have had a wonderful time with me exploring my past, rather my childhood game of favorites. So I will see you all next time. Later.